Guys, Bill McMillan here with IndieWX.com. Wednesday evening, and I wanted to give you a video update here. A lot going on behind the scenes right now with our weather pattern. While it may seem very quiet and relatively inactive as it is right now, obviously that's the case. Really, there's a lot going on setting us up for potentially a very active, stormy, and progressively colder back half of December, primarily focused on the last 10 days of the month, at least the way we continue to see things. And that's what we've been talking about. Certainly not coming out here saying, hey, we told you so, we told you so. That's not the nature of what we do here. Obviously, you know that by now. But going back to our winter outlook, when we focus in on December, January, and February, or meteorological winter, we did target December as the month that most likely would end up being warmer than normal before we begin to make the switch to a colder regime for mid and late winter. And given everything that we continue to look at, that's still the case right now. But you hear so much, mainstream media talking about still how this is going to be a very warm and relatively boring winter. We just don't agree with that line of thinking in the least. They could be right, we could be wrong. It's happened before and it's going to happen in the future. But given everything that we're looking at right now, we still feel very confident on where we stand for the winter as a whole and where we stand on December, particularly the last 10 days of December, turning much more active. And call me crazy, especially if it's going to be in the mid to upper 60s this weekend, but I still believe there's a chance of a white Christmas on the table. We'll look more into that as we move forward here. The current satellite, though, shows mid and high-level clouds beginning to stream into the state this evening. Really allowed for a very beautiful sunset across central Indiana. I appreciate those pictures coming in. As we move forward, guys, the warmth is the story. This is a look at the current departure from average as of 5 o'clock this evening, and the entire country is running above normal at this hour. Just some remarkable stuff, and definitely, I think it's well known that I'm a snow and a cold lover out there for sure, but we've got to enjoy the 60s coming this weekend. How often do we see 60s in December around these parts? So needless to say, let's enjoy that. In the short term, we're looking at a dry pattern. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day, we think. And then moisture will begin to return Friday into Saturday with a southwesterly airflow. This is Friday afternoon as some light scattered showers begin to move into the area. It's going to be a very mild day, though, despite the showers. And most folks will be dry for the better part of the day on Friday. The same can be said for Saturday. We'll keep mention of a shower in our forecast as we put this into motion. But it's as we go into Sunday and Monday that storm system begins to move closer, and as a result, rain and embedded thunderstorms can be expected. Sunday into Monday, we still think locally heavy rain is possible. On average, probably 1 to 1.5 inches of rain is a good bet across the majority of central Indiana with this particular storm system coming up. And then we're going to fast forward to the latter part of the 10-day here off the GFS, just to show the potential of a more intriguing scenario going into the weekend before Christmas. There's going to be an attempt, and obviously we're not looking at specifics right now, just showing this one solution. It's going to change multiple times as we move forward, but the overall idea of colder and continued stormy seems to be a good idea as we go into that Christmas week period. But the GFS shows a southern stream storm system beginning to attack cold air in place, and with the favorable track, just enough cold air, that's all you need this time of the year, so we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Furthermore, let's see if I can back this up a little bit for you. The European today has been very bullish, looking at the ensembles over here, on building the ridge over Alaska and the western part of the country into western Canada. If that's going to happen, we're going to look at more sustained cold air feeding into our particular part of the country as we go into the latter part of the month. And with an active storm track, cold air, you get the idea. We'll look at a totally different scenario when it comes to the potential of wintry precipitation across this part of the country in that all-important Christmas time period. So many people want snow on Christmas, obviously, myself included. Considering as warm as we've been, let's pause for a minute and think back to November. It was a very, very warm month. That said, that storm system came along at the end of the month, overachieved across north central Indiana, needless to say, and dropped 3 to 4 inches of snow. It was a warm month. But it only takes one storm, guys, to really lead to a different idea in your mind around the month. And while it may be warm now, that's not to say that it's going to remain that way. And just in time for the Christmas to New Year period, it looks like things are going to get more active. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Did want to just show you for entertainment purposes, the CFS V2, along with a lot of the models, have been all over the place over the past few days, few weeks for that matter. A lot of that has to do with that crashing SOI that we've been talking about. But the latest CFS V2, the trend is your friend as we go, and let's just take a look at this every 5-day chunk. You go from an unseasonably warm pattern that we're in now to a progressively colder one. This is that all-important December 19th through the 29th time period, and that just kind of settles in here as we go into the new year. So it's going to be interesting watching this unfold. We'll leave you guys with the updated, this was our forecast that we posted this morning on ndwx.com. Really a quiet time of things over the next couple of days. Beautiful day coming Thursday, we think, before we introduce scattered shower chances Friday and Saturday. Most of those 2 days will be dry. Rain and thunderstorm chances really begin to increase Sunday into Monday as the cold front moves through the area and associated area of low pressure. Much warmer as well. Record high in the mid to upper 60s likely Saturday. We turn a little bit cooler behind that storm system, but it's really next weekend into Christmas week where things get more interesting. Guys, have a great evening. We'll talk with you soon on ndwx.com.